Hey, what's up, guys? Your boy RUFFD here, and today is gonna be starting off my weekly Q&A. Got some cool new cameras here set up, and hopefully you guys like the increased quality. Got a new mic, got all that stuff. So really trying to bring you guys some better quality videos coming up in the near future. But it is Monday, so a few days after the Olympia, about a week, a little over a week after the Olympia here now. And I figured I'd try to get through some Q&A questions focused on the Olympia. So I got a few. We'll see how many we can get through in 10 to 15 minutes, you know, for you short attention span people. And we'll go from there. All right, first question. Would you like to see the Olympia stay in December or back to September? All right, so there's been a lot of talk about this recently, actually. I've been seeing a lot of people bring this up. Honestly, it sounds like it's gonna stay in December, just to give you guys like some an inside scoop. I'm not necessarily a fan of December just because it's so close to the holidays. It just kind of throws things off for, you know, spending time with family, you know, going to different holiday events and whatnot. But you know, we're gonna get it done no matter when it is. But I definitely liked it in September, so you can, you know, have that, and then, you know, if you wanted to compete a little bit more at the end of the year to get ready for next year, qualify for next year, you could do that. Now it's just really weird how they have it. Now if just competing, you know, there's no shows until there's no shows after the Olympia. So even back in the day, they had shows. They had like the Grand Prix shows, so they had like shows back to back to back to back. So you could, you know, you did Olympia, then everyone from that top 5, that top 10 will qualify early 9 times out of 10, you know, and that would give them plenty of time to kind of rest up for the Olympia. Now, there's no shows until like, for people who are actually competing in the Olympia, there's no shows until like March. And most people don't want to compete right before the Olympia, you know, kind of messes things up, makes things a little less certain when you're peaking for the Olympia. So wish it was in December. We'll go from there. What was your favorite off-stage moment during the Olympia days? Man, that's a tough one. I had a lot of cool experiences, so much so I really haven't had time to kind of think about each and every one of them. I would have to say, man, the coolest experience off stage might have been Sean taking time out to speak to me, and he actually knew who I was. You know, I met him a month before I turned pro back in 2014 at Gold's Gym, and when I met him then, he didn't really have much to say, to be honest with you. And you know, this time around, he approached me. He told me, you know, his whole story about when he placed second for the first time at the Olympia, and how that changed his perspective on things. And you know, I really respected that. Now, placing second doesn't change the way what I do or how I do it. I've always trained hard. I've always ate my meals. I've always done everything I need to do. So I mean, the advice wasn't, you know, super helpful, but the whole idea of him just coming up to me and giving his time was really cool. What went wrong with Phil Heath during the 2020 Olympia? Dude, I have no idea. Obviously, he didn't make any changes. Whether he tried or not, I can't say. I don't think he did, but I'm just guessing, you know. So it sucks, man. I think he'll retire after this, but we'll see. We'll see. What role did John Meadows and Joe Bennett have in your prep? I get this all the time. Hopefully now that I've played second, more people will start to realize their roles in my life. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I train every single day with Joe. So training is Joe specific. You'll also notice that you know, I don't talk about John as often because he does my diet and he's in Columbus, so Ohio, and I'm in Tampa, Florida. So Joe does my training. I train with him daily. John Meadows, nutrition, supplements, cardio, prep, all that other good stuff. What was the hardest thing about prepping for the Olympia? That is from Austin Duke 96. I think I should probably start adding the names so people can hear. You know, I think that's an added touch. But anyway, honestly, man, the Olympia is just the same as any other show, whether it's amateur or the pro leagues or whatever. It's the same as any other prep for, you know, there's nothing objectively different. I think the biggest difference for most people is that it's the nerves, it's the idea of being on this stage. You know, I've been competing at the Olympia since classics came around, so for me, it's just another day. But for a lot of guys, I've heard some guys get some pretty bad anxiety before hopping on stage. They stress out, they psych themselves out, and they just kind of need to take a breather and relax a bit. But no, nothing was too really difficult this prep. It was actually probably my easiest prep ever. And yeah, so that's how this prep went. When are you going to have your next competition? From Moderant 9257. So before I played second, I had decided to compete at the Arnold again. I wanted to do that to win that title, and I wanted to compete either at the Pittsburgh or New York Pro, or maybe both, because they're really close together. But after placing second, I really want to focus on improving what I need to improve, because the title is a lot closer than I previously thought. I thought it would take me another, 3-4 years to get to where I am right now. But I do recognize that there's a lot of guys that are really good coming up, and if they make the improvements they need to make, then they could push me really hard. So instead of focusing on too many different things, I think I need to just focus on the Olympia since I got this placing, and that's what I'm going to do. Really plan on bringing a lot of improvements to keep those guys under me at bay and to push Chris a little bit harder, and hopefully get that title next year. Another one, how long have I worked with John? From Austin Paul 00. I worked with John since 2019, so it hasn't been very long. We've done 3 shows together. Now, we started working together in August 2019 to prep for a show in November, the Niagara Falls Pro Show. That got me qualified for the Olympia and also gave me a qualification for the Arnold. So we did the Arnold next. You guys saw that, I got second there. And our most recent show is the Olympia. So we've done 3 shows together in the course of about a year now. And yeah, it's going really well. I don't have any reasons to change, any reasons to reconsider John. He's doing an amazing job. Couldn't ask for anything better. Were you ever worried about making weight? From Dr. 792. No, man. I mean, I was a little, actually, yeah. I was a little bit worried. So they've heighted me a couple different times, a couple different heights. And now that's a whole different topic about why don't they just pick one height and whatever. But I've been about, so at the Arnold, I was 5'4" 3/4. At the Olympia, I was 5'5" 1/2. Now, that difference may not seem like a lot to a lot of people if you don't understand what's going on, but that's a difference of 5 pounds if you're over or under 5'5". So I've always erred on the safe side and just said and just went for 175. But honestly, after this show, with me being very close to 175 and them hiding me taller, we're just gonna push it and we're just gonna hope for the best. And we're gonna say my weight limit is 180 now, and we're just gonna go with that. So that's the plan there. But yeah, I was a little worried because we were 179 the night before weigh-ins, and yeah, it was pushing it close. And I was 179. It was weird. My weight was really weird. I was 179 in the mornings, and I was also 179 at night, which is not common. And for 3 days, I weighed like that. But we skipped our last meal, and we skipped maybe 1 or 2 meals before breakfast, and it worked out very well for us. Why no glasses on stage? From DPN Zits. Nah, man, I don't like glasses on stage. I just think it's not something you should wear on stage. Now, I've seen people do it, and I've never heard anyone say anything negative about it, but it's just a preference of mine not to wear it on stage. All right. From Enjoy Callow, how did it feel stepping back on the Olympia stage? Shout out from the VA. No, dude, it was awesome to be back. Not so much. I mean, like, the Olympia is awesome. Yeah, obviously, it's the best show in the world, the biggest show in the world. It wasn't so much the fact that I was stepping back on that stage. It was more so the fact of me being able to compete against the best in the world. And I haven't been able to do that in a while. You know, a lot of people like to say, oh, he hasn't, you know, I won the Niagara Falls Pro Show. I placed second at the Arnold. But for some reason, they didn't think I competed against people of high caliber. Now, I can disagree with that. Sammy, he placed second to me in Niagara Falls. The following week, he beat 40 people at the Battle of Texas. Placing second at the Arnold is pretty damn impressive, if I don't say so myself. Being guys like Steve Loris, which is, in my opinion, one of the, like, he has all the tools to be the best ever, you know. Yeah, it was awesome. It was an awesome experience to be back on stage competing with the best in the world. How does it feel from Jay Gudino? How does it feel to know you're someone classic physique competitors have to watch out for? They've always had to watch out for me. I mean, I've always been confident. There's never been a problem there. Now, I don't really think, that's not something I think about, you know. I don't worry about what other people are worrying about or what they're thinking about. You know, that distracts me from my own goals. So, you know, they can worry. They can do whatever they want to do. They don't need to worry. The outcome's going to be the same if they worry or they don't worry, to be honest with you, because I put in the work. I do everything necessary to be the best bodybuilder I can. And what they think isn't going to change that. So it's kind of my opinion there. Last question from Golden Era Fabian. What do you need to improve on to beat Chris Bumstead? Great question, man. I think just still bringing up the things that I've been bringing up from this whole time is what I need to do. My physique is I'm pretty happy with where we are with symmetry right now, but there's always room for improvement. I think a bit more hamstrings would be great. Bigger arms, that's something that Breon really exposed of my physique in all the poses. But you know, besides that, just a little bit finer tuning, a little bit more detail in my muscles. I think that would be great. And I'm trying out different things. We're gonna see what happens. A little bit more massage work, a little bit more ab control. I want a lot more abdominal control, so I'm doing vacuums daily now in the mornings to keep my waist tight, to give me more control over my, you know, my midsection, as well as yoga, so I'm able to do more twisting poses because I'm a little tight in my torso. So some small things there, being able to hit poses easier and better, being able to engage certain muscles a little bit easier, I think is going to help me out as well. But I think just a little bit more of what I've been doing, and I can get there to beat Chris. So those are the questions for today's Q&A. Normally I've been getting my questions from Instagram. Once I start getting a good amount of questions coming from YouTube, we'll just rock and roll that way, guys. But, you know, like, share, subscribe. I'm all new to this. I got this whole setup for you guys, so I hope you guys liked it. And until next time, peace.